Hello everyone. Today I got an Osceola story time, and I've been wanting to do this for months already. I know a lot of my videos are based on comedy and stuff like that, but I wanted to share a very touching story from my life that I wanted to share with all you guys. Something that maybe a lot of you guys didn't know about me, and so I just wanted to share it with you guys. It's something pretty serious that happened in my life. It affected me, and I'm trying to maybe put it out there, tell my story. Maybe it can help someone in their lives. Anyways, a long time ago, when I was a young kid, we used to live in Pride Lands, Texas, and we used to have a ranch. We had a ranch. It was a family-owned ranch. We a lot of family members lived there. Not only us, it was our family, aunts and uncles and stuff like that. And unfortunately, we had an accident. A lot. So we had a lot of cattle in that ranch, and this one day I was in the ranch. I was playing. I was a stupid young kid, really. I was young. I was a teenager, and I was messing about, and they told me not to. And unfortunately, I started what's called a Texas raw stampede, which is basically hundreds of cattle running the across the ranch and stuff like that. And so I'm doing that, and well, there's a fucking stampede coming at me, and I didn't know what to do. I was frozen in the spot, but luckily my dad was there, and he was able to push me out of the way on time and grab me and really whisk me over the fences. We had some barbed wire fences, but he was able to chuck me out of there, on time. Unfortunately, he was not able to get out himself, so he was unfortunately. He was crushed. His let's just say he died instantly. One of the cattle happened to crush his head, and so he just laid there lifeless, man. And that really impacted me on my life. So I had to, the whole family was angry at me. I thought it was my fault. I had to move away from town. So I moved away, and I moved away by myself. I had no food, no clothing, no nothing. I was homeless, basically, man. And luckily, I had this nice little gay couple, and that's why I'm okay with gays, because they helped me in my life. One of them was name is Pablo. I think it was Pablo. He had a nickname, but I forgot the nickname. The other one was Tim. And they brought me in, man. They clothed me, they fed me, they taught me all these new cultures, man, and to really forget about my tragic past. So it told me just forget about it, man. Just no worries. For the rest of your days, no worries. And I'm like, all right, cool. So I grew up there, and I grew up, and then I didn't think about my past for the longest time until one day. I used to have this friend, and I just happened to run into her one day, and it just everything came back. Everything came back to me. So I had no choice but to go back, because she started telling me all these bad things that were happening, in Pride Lands, Texas, at my ranch. And I'm like, all right, well, let's at first I was like, I'm done with that. It's a thing of the past. It was my fault. My father's dead. It was my fault, and technically I was supposed to run over the ranch, but it just didn't happen. I was supposed to take over Pride Lands Ranch, and it didn't happen. So I was like, what, screw it. Things are going bad. I have to go back. And so it was just so hard, Hold on. Anyways, I just loaded my stuff. I went back, and it was horrible, man. Everything had dried up. Everything was dark. Everything was like a wasteland. And I see I didn't know who was going to be the owner of the ranch. It ended up being my uncle. And I remember my uncle as a kid, because he had this nasty, nasty scar against his face, and that's the only way I can remember him. So, you know, we called him Uncle Scar. And, you know, I tell Uncle Scar, why are you doing this? Why are you letting this ranch go to waste? You know, you're letting those other, you know, those other guys come over here and take everything from us, and you're letting them have everything, and you think you rule the place. Why are you doing this? And you know, he starts talking about my father and stuff like that, and you know, he's got me backed in the corner, like, hey, yeah, you killed your father and stuff like that, and I'm like, no, I'm sorry, it was an accident. And then he's about to push me off a cliff, and he whispers in my ears like, I killed Mufasa. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I jump over him, I fucking pin him down, and I'm trying to figure out how the fuck, what the fuck? What are you talking about? You killed Mufasa? April Fools, guys. Have a good one. I couldn't go on anymore. It's too good. Peace.